Good evening and welcome to the 5-8, where we discuss each of the week's 5 most fucked up topics for 8 minutes. And we've been doing it for 4 years.
Oh my God.
I know. 4 years of whole presidential term.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've lost all track of time. Like, I was scrolling through and I had to go. I know it was 4 years, but I had to see 2022 on the screen to believe it.
Yeah.
And then I did it on the calculator. I subtracted 26 from 22. I'm like, no, it's 4. It's definitely 4.
It feels longer and shorter at the same time. It's just a big old morass of hoping and praying and fighting and and then, oh God, taking the hits. So and all of you, so many of you along with us for these 4 years. It's been delightful, actually.
It's been delightful.
It's been delightful. Yeah.
Okay, that was the parenthetical. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have to go back to the actual intro.
Yes. Okay.
5 topics, 8 minutes to host some guests. Couple great guests tonight.
Yeah.
More than a couple. Some singing, a lot of curse words, and as many cocktails as we deem necessary. There's been a lot of cocktails in the last 8.
There's been a lot of cocktails, a lot of water, and a lot of non-cocktails.
Yeah.
A lot of mocktails.
Absolutely. So
I've got my ice water. I need it to stay awake tonight. I was thinking about, should I have some champagne? Should I celebrate? I was like, no, I'll fall asleep. I want to stay alert and be there for you. And I love doesn't Greg look lovely, everybody? I'm feeling a little underdressed. I made a commitment to do a nice formal lip and a nice little shirt. But I love the suit and tie. I love you.
For all we know, that's a ball gown. You know, that's like the top of a ball gown. We don't know. No one knows.
It's not. It's the top of my pajamas. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the top and the bottom is my pajamas.
Well, you know, the secret is now the secret
is out. I'm in comfy pants. Yes.
So I wanted to do something special for tonight, and I couldn't figure out what to do.
Okay.
And then I thought about it, and I'm like, I know what it is. I'm going to change up my background. I'm going to change up the background. So I decided maybe we'll use this as the background.
No.
Got the little statue there, right?
Oh, I don't want to look at him. But if you need to do that, that's fine.
I do not.
I support you.
I do not need to do that.
Okay, that was funny.
Lost in the morass of all of this is the fact that this guy is designing that and thinks it's a good idea.
Oh God, I can't get into the decorating. It's just, it's the heartbreaking part. There's many heartbreaking things, but it's just abysmal. I don't know what to say. But we also looked over our 5 topics from the first show.
We did.
And they could keep going on today.
They keep going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we were careening into the Ukraine war, if not in the.
No, we were in it. It's a couple months in.
Yeah. And when our show began, which is one of the reasons we were like, I think we got to do a show, right? Even though we were in a Biden administration, Russia was still being horrendous, Putin being horrendous. And so that was one of our topics. I think there was the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Right.
Trying to remember what some of the other ones were.
Ginny and Clarence.
Mm-hmm. Up to no good.
Yeah. Hurly Burly. God knows what the Hurly Burly
I think that was Giuliani.
Yeah, I think it was Giuliani.
And getting caught in Sacha Baron Cohen's film. Yeah. Yeah. So that's where we were 4 years ago. I do think a lot has changed. I think everybody's feeling really different now. I think we're in a very strange moment, and we're trying to make it through it. We're trying to prevail. But let's get into it. Shall we? Do you want to jump into it? Because we do have our friends waiting.
Yeah, we want to try to stay a little bit on time today. But
a little bit on time.
I do want to tell everybody that there's going to be an after hours tonight.
Oh yeah.
What we're going to talk about, I don't know. Maybe people can ask us
That's
questions.
when I might have a drink and just go night night.
You have a drink at the after hours.
At the after hours, loosen up a little bit. Okay, let me put the timer on.
Put the timer
And
on.
our first topic is: are we getting into Iran? Oh, Tehran. Yeah, names of television shows, by the way, everybody down below.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're in this war now, so we have to do sort of I feel obligated, I think as you do too, to do the sort of weekly roundup or updates on where things are at. We had a French general today, come out and say, and I don't think it was a dismissive joke or just a jab. It definitely was a jab at U.S. officials, but it's the French. They know what they're talking about. It's not that he isn't aware and they don't have great intelligence, even though they're our ally. They're not. I think he was speaking from real truth here and said, the administration and the officials, meaning like Hegseth and Rubio and all this, need to stop doing cocaine in between the meetings.
Yeah.
The French general said
the
that.
context was that whatever their plans are, whatever they're saying is going to happen is just you have to be high to believe it. But it's a very specific
yes, it is.
Thing to say. It's a very specific thing to say. And these are two people in Rubio and Hegseth who do look amped up.
A little bit
amped up,
A little bit. Okay.
Hegseth wants to go to the Stone Age, but does he really want to go to the Rock Age? That's the thing. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
He's so crazy. Iran has their game on.
Absolutely.
It's jarring.
Yeah.
How well versed, but it shouldn't be. We're so poorly versed, this administration, so poorly versed in that regime, what they're up for, unless it's all about supporting them because they're part of Putin's empire. Their history, all of that. Our leaders that are in that administration, getting us into this war, keeping us into a war, initiating it, having it roll out of control, all of that. They have no idea, apparently, who they're dealing with. And the Iranian regime seems to know very well who they're dealing with and what to do.
Yeah.
Including these Lego shorts, these mocks. So they launched one against Pete Hegseth today. That was breathtaking.
It was pretty. It went there. It went all there. Totally. It was a wrap. It was actually good. Oh my God! Just artistically, there's no way that the goobers in the White House could produce something of that quality. So then here we are again, now in this crazy position where, as you said, this administration has ceded the moral high ground to the Iranian regime. It's just, oh my God, right? And on top of that, they're kicking our ass artistically in the meme wars and the psyops. It's crazy making. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. But apart from all of that, we're now at war.
Yeah.
A war that the president of the United States, I know that he's a buffoon and all this stuff, but he's still the president of the United States, went on live TV on Wednesday and tried to explain to the American people and sell to people and articulate the reasons why we're in this war. And he failed so much that the markets moved while he was talking. Oil went up, stock market went down as he was talking, because it was clear that he has no fucking idea what he's talking about. As you said, he doesn't understand. I would love to give them a test, everybody in that cabinet, and is Iran Shiite or Sunni? What percentage of them even know? It's not, is it 50%? I would be,
they don't care.
I know they don't care.
None of them care. Yeah.
That level of just recklessness and lack of anything. And Hegseth just thinking he can out frat guy this, and that's somehow going to win a war. We have service members who got shot down in airplanes over Iran, in the territory.
And
One of
still
them,
continuing. There's more, like
yeah,
even more, a couple hours before we came on air. And we don't know if they've been captured. I guess it's
one of
hard to
them is
trust
safe,
the
but I
information.
heard, well, what I was going to say, the problem that I'm having, and I'm
Mm,
sure you're having, and everybody watching this, is I don't know what to believe, because I
right.
don't believe what Trump says. I don't believe what the US government is telling me at
Can't.
this point.
Yeah.
This isn't even like, hippie Vietnam stuff. Like, these people are professional liars, and they're in it to lie and make it seem like everything's fine and that we're winning, which, if they're really blowing up all of our bases in the entire Middle East, which is what Iran claims is happening, that ain't winning. That's like a
No. I don't
trouncing.
know whether to believe Iran either. Like, who are
No,
we
you
believing?
can't believe
You
Iran,
can't believe
but
anything.
you
Yeah.
can't believe that. Now, the president of Iran released this 4-page letter very articulately to the
Mm.
American people, talking about, hey, guys, we're actually not aggressors here. We had no plans of being aggressors here. Look back at our history, which, by the way, we've been around a long, long time. And, you go through, and very little in that document I thought was untrue. I cringed a little bit when he talked about how dictatorships are bad. That was a little bit
Oh
too
God.
rich for me.
Like, Iran has been a state sponsor of terror, and like, come on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
in terms of expansion of territory, they could go across the Strait of Hormuz and take whatever's on the other side, but they don't. That's
Yeah.
the point he was trying to make. So it's just like, I'm confused by who to believe. There's no moral anything in this war. It's just it's a monstrosity. It's taken all of the anybody's, not that people were paying attention to Ukraine anyway. Certainly no one's, Zarina's the only person paying attention to Ukraine at this point.
Oh God.
And everything there is horrible as ever.
Yeah.
And Bibi and the, his government there and his armed forces have invaded Lebanon and are trying to Gaza this shit there, which is no
Yeah.
different than what Putin was trying to do in eastern Ukraine.
That's
And
true.
nobody's talking about that either.
Although I don't believe we're apparently sending ground troops to Iran. People are being called up. Troops are being called up. I don't believe Israel is. So if there is a ground war or troops on the ground, boots on the ground, it's going to be just American. And then you have this cleaning out of the generals, right, by the Pentagon, by Pete Hegseth. So how many leaders have we lost in it during this war? In this last week, last few days, just scores of generals and leaders within our military command gone, fired by this guy. And I don't know what to believe there. Is it the fear mongering of they're cleaning house because they want atrocities committed, Trump and Hegseth, and they don't want anybody standing in the way? Were the generals that were fired, did they say, no, that's illegal, we won't do that, we won't give those orders? Or there's reporting that they were trying to elevate and promote women and people of color into positions. Hegseth couldn't have that, apparently. So there's all these conflicting stories, and maybe it's all of it, around why we have this sort of mass firing, cleaning house happening in the time of war. We're losing the leadership in our apparatus.
Yeah.
And good, apparently good people. One person has been replaced with someone that was in the Epstein files. I want to make a note to ask one of our friends coming on about that. Maybe she knows about that, but it's just madness. And the fact that no one's 25th Amendment, this insane person is, I do think, and the generals are quiet, military leadership's being quiet because that would be political. Well, no, you're making a political choice. This is actually the time where the right thing to do is to speak up. The apolitical thing to do is to separate yourself from thinking you're weighing in on politics and just tell us what the fuck is going on, because it's an incredibly dangerous moment. People have sons, daughters, friends, neighbors, moms and dads that are going to be asked to go off to war. People are dying. No, our economy is about to, seemingly crash. What's happening? We need some information out of the people who know, and especially those who've been let go. I would like to hear from them.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
To happier topics. Speaking of people being purged, we talked a couple weeks ago about the missing general, the retired Major General of the Air Force, Neil McCasland, who wandered off outside of his house in Albuquerque, left his phone, left any tracking device, went out on a hike, and has not returned. And that was like a month ago. And it's weird because he was the head of the Kirkland Air Force Base. He was the now I can't think of the name of it, the one in Ohio that deals with, like, the UFO community is all interested in this because he had access to all of that kind of stuff,
right?
As well as any other top secret thing that the government was up to. So he has a lot of knowledge in his brain that most people do not have, and now he's missing. But he's not the only one. And that's the thing that's what we want to kind of like just.
Yeah, I got to a sort of a point where it's like, oh gosh, we're going to have to talk about this. And it's being written about in, I'm going to read to you guys from Times of India, but just because they collected it, I think all the information in one place in a good way. But a lot of journalists are on this. People are starting to write about it. It does seem we're breaking beyond sort of a normal, people go missing, people, in certain communities, maybe even at a higher rate of suicide or disappearance, mysterious deaths kind of thinged based on what your job is or the stressors or the pressures of it. But we're at a point now where you and I were discussing, okay, I think we have to talk about this. Just keep a spotlight on it. So it began with this guy, a NASA-affiliated scientist, Frank Mywald, so we started around like July 2024. So it's almost been 2 years, but not quite. Like a year and a half of this, all this stuff went down. He died in Los Angeles at the age of 61. This is a guy who was at JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and had access to stuff and was working on things. And his death is no one knows how he died, and it's not been released. So there's mystery around this man's death. And there's no autopsy. It was conducted, and no one knows why. So it's strange. And then we go forward about a year, not quite. And there's a guy named Anthony Chavez, who was a former Los Alamos, we're back in Los Alamos territory, National Laboratory employee, disappeared while out walking in New Mexico. He'd been associated with one of the most sensitive research environments where work often intersects with nuclear science, national security, and classified technologies. No phone or wallet either on him.
Yeah.
And no confirmed sightings. He just vanished. Then we get to June of 2025, just a month later, and a woman, Monica Jacinto Reza, who is a senior aerospace engineer and former tech fellow at Aerojet Rocketdyne, vanished while hiking near Mount Waterman in California. And she was a leading figure in rocket propulsion science.
Invented an alloy.
She invented a super alloy that was used in next generation engines. So this was like, if someone was going to take scientists, like let's say, or put one of their spies in a high level of science inside our community or something like, if it was something like that, this woman would be very much a target one way or another. And disappeared, vanished, no trace, absolutely no trace of her. And then just 4 days later, Melissa Casillas was walking alone along State Route 518 in New Mexico, and she was an administration professional at Los Alamos, but had access to information and personnel and all of that. And her disappearance stood out not only for its suddenness, but for the discovery that her phones had been left behind and wiped clean.
Oh, I didn't know they were wiped clean.
Yeah. Wiped clean, yeah. That sounds very espionage to me. Okay. So, and then by late 2025 and early 2026, the list expanded. Jason Thomas disappeared on December 12th, 2025. He was serving as Assistant Director of Chemical Biology at Novartis, a senior role in pharmaceutical research involving complex biochemical systems. His body was later found around the same time on December 15th, Nuno Loureiro, that guy that was director of the MIT Plasma Science and Fusion and a globally recognized expert in plasma physics and fusion energy, was shot and died. So he was murdered. Carl Grillmeyer, a Caltech astrophysicist known for his work on galactic structures, stellar streams, and asteroid tracking, he was killed. Less than 2 weeks later, that's when Major General William Neal McCaslin vanished without a trace. So that's a lot of scientists at top levels of clearance just vanishing or being killed.
The plasma scientist guy got killed like 2 days after Trump company acquired the plasma fusion company, which is weird to me.
Weird.
Also,
and it was connected somehow to the Brown University shooting.
Yeah, it was the same guy. The Brown University shooter was trying to get to the physics department and went to the wrong building because it was finals time. So again, we don't have any like larger, anything there, but this is it's too much now to ignore.
Too much to ignore. These are our top scientists. What is going on?
Yeah, what is going on?
What is going on?
That's actually, I watched SNL and the Tucker Carlson impersonator guy. That's what he kept saying. What is going on? But
no, I don't want to sound like the Tucker
No. It's fine. So what we're gonna do tonight, in lieu of new material in terms of the media, we're gonna play some of our favorite ones, during this time. And when we come back from this,
the next one, my favorite of all,
this is the best one. It really is.
This is the best one.
When you come back, you might see a familiar face on the screen. Who knows? Might even be someone who was our first guest on this very show 4 years ago. Could be her. Okay.
He's so erratic, got a face like a haddock, but he thinks he's Jude Law in Gattaca, ketamine addict. He's so easy to honey pot, it ain't even funny. He got all of his money from Russia or maybe from Saudi Arabia. Gave Ashley his baby, but didn't go near her labia. Why? X is down, the rocket won't launch. X is down, the rocket won't launch. X is down, the rocket won't launch. Grimes told Azalea his implants a failure. Grimes told Azalea his implants a failure. Grimes told Azalea his implants a failure. Grimes told Azalea his implants a failure.
All right. Hey, it's Nina Burley.
Look who it is.
How are you, Nina?
That was brilliant. Is that another Greg Olear? Has that been around for a while? Have people seen it before?
Yeah.
These are year. Yeah.
These are great.
It's really good.
Yeah, we knew you were coming on too. We're like, okay, we've got American Freak Show. Let's give her the goods.
It's just, I honestly, not to toot my own horn, I should be given the Mark Twain Prize just for rhyming Saudi Arabia with labia. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Absolutely.
It's face like a haddock and erratic. Fantastic as well, by the way.
It's genius. It is absolutely genius, Greg.
Thank you. And Chunk killing it as usual. We're gonna hear from him later.
Yes, we are.
We are gonna hear from him.
Is Chunk coming on? Like in person? Man. That's big. I'd like to see the person behind the brilliance.
You'll see him. He'll be on at the end of the show. Yeah.
How are you, Nina? It's good to see you. Can you believe it's been 4 years?
I'm good. I'm writing away. I've got a book project right now that has nothing to do with Trump or Epstein, and I have 3 days a
Good.
week to sit in my chair and plow through it. So
Nice.
I'm gonna do it for the next 2 months. I've got to get through 18 chapters in 2 months.
Oof.
You could do it. You could do it.
I know.
could do it.
You and I, you know how to do this stuff too, El,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So commercial nonfiction book. It's a really interesting story.
Nice.
But yeah, in our Courier News, which I guess you would say syndicates my freak show column, we're starting a new Epstein focused platform on Monday. And my colleague down in Washington, Cam Stevenson, has a huge scoop related
how
to
fantastic.
Indike, one of the
Yeah.
Darren Endike.
yeah.
When
And
is
then
that?
on Tuesday we're going to bust some news on Khan, the accountant. So we're not looking away from the files as much as they want us to not. And Todd Blanche telling trained monkey Jesse Waters that the everything is finished and that DOJ is going to not do this anymore. It's not over, Todd. Sorry, it ain't over till it's over. And you can go back down to Tallahassee and shoot the breeze with Ghislaine all you want, but it ain't
Do you
over.
think Trump is going to pardon her?
I don't know. I mean, he's so out of control now. I mean, maybe, but I think, they want to get reelected. They want to get reelected. And I don't think pardoning her is going to help them in the midterms. That plus the war, plus $6 gas, or what is it now? $7 gas in California and $4 everywhere else. I don't think that pardoning Maxwell is going to work for them, but maybe by the end of the term, they would do that. I mean, I don't know. She wants to get out. She's got a habeas corpus sitting there with 27 unnamed men that she apparently knows the names of. So that's the sort of Damocles hanging over their heads. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to do it. Certainly won't do it before fall. So she has to sit in the cushy prison where you get to play with puppies and have your friends come.
I mean,
families come and get treated with snacks.
Oh,
By the
God.
prison staff.
Well, the guy now he's now the Attorney General, the acting
He's now the
Attorney
Attorney General.
We wanted to get your thoughts on that too, because Bondi's gone.
It's Todd Blanche. What does Blanche mean in French? Todd Whiteout.
Yep.
And that's what he's here for. He's here to white out blot out the stain. And he will try to do it, I suppose. He's the Attorney General. I mean, but I'm actually seeing that they're talking about putting Jeanine Pirro in eventually. Is that possible?
Yeah, she's vying for that. I saw a little bit of that today. She wants the job.
I mean,
it does seem like there was something that happened. We were looking at that, Greg. What was it that happened that maybe folks aren't talking about that might have been the reason, one of the big factors for Pam Bondi? It also felt to me like it was a Susie Wiles, get her out of here. And like she's the one who was sort of having enough based on, was it Dan Goldman? Who was it that came forward and said she had made a mistake? I mean, Susie Wiles already was reporting that she was upset and was voicing being upset, that saying that Pam Bondi had botched the whole Epstein thing, like just putting it all on her as if it was cover up, this impossible cover up. But she had done something. Greg, do you remember what it was? She had.
There's a lot of things. I mean, there's some
information or accidentally that was implying, and Susie Wiles was something about classified information that Donald was sharing with people.
Right. He was on the plane and he was trotting out this classified information, and we want to know who's on the plane, and we want to know what the classified information was. And, was he selling it? What is he doing? Is it a situation where?
But did Bondi release that information?
She accidentally released something around all of that.
I thought we knew that. I mean, isn't that part of the Purloined Documents case that he was doing that? Hasn't that been out there for a while?
It could be. And she was set to.
I don't know. I mean, I think Bondi and Wiles are they come from the Florida Republican Trump world. Right. Mm-hmm. They know each other. They've known each other for a while. So it's conceivable that there was something going on there between them. But I mean, if you step back and look at what's happening here with this release in general, I think, I mean, 50 years from now, people are going to look back and go, wow, like that was a lot of information to be released by anyone. And it happens to be that it came out of this administration. I mean, we should be, in some ways, we should be thanking them for releasing it. I mean, Congress forced them to do it. But it reveals so much about how we got where we are now and who the players are, who control the levers of power, and who might be behind the technology transfers that end up having people murdered, what you were just talking about, spying in Silicon Valley and Los Alamos. Epstein's mobbed up with all of that stuff, all of it. The Epstein files leads to that kind of thing. We're going to be writing more about technology transfers, Russia and Israel and Epstein and nuclear secrets.
Massive espionage then.
I mean,
yeah.
Absolutely. So, back to what Bondi's going to take the fall for having released all this stuff. I think it just came to there's a critical mass happening here where people are starting to, that's a lot of information, and they were unable to, as much as they did in March 2025, when they took those FBI agents and said, you 48-hour shifts, get in there and clean Trump out of it. They weren't able to do what they needed to do with what's in there and what's being revealed to actual investigative journalists and DIY couch sitting investigators. And all of this stuff is starting to come out, and it's leading in all these different directions, and it's infuriating the MAGAs, and it's infuriating Donald because, as he said, a lot of my friends are going to get in trouble. I mean, that's the issue. It's a lot of his friends are going to get in trouble. Personally, I'm not sure that they're going to find I wrote about this week. I'm not sure that you're going to find the silver bullet of the 13-year-old who will come forward and say, now 60-year-old woman, and say he raped me. That I'm fairly sure that even if that happens, he's Tefloned enough on the predatory side that he'll just slide right through it. It's already baked in. I don't think that a 60-year-old woman accusing this 80-year-old man of doing things to her when she was 13 is going to bring him down. But what is going to bring him down are all the banks, the bankers, the international scam that these people all were engaged in, and the technology transfers and the alliances behind the scenes, the back channeling with the MBS and so on. And Israel's influence, all of that stuff is revealed, and it's coming out in these files. And I don't think they can hide from it. I think Todd Blanche, it's too late. Like, this material's out there. Although, they can try to go back in and redact.
Listen, he's a massive gaslighter. I mean, that press conference a few months back, or whenever that was, when he came out and just said, there's no evidence of anybody raping any women. Remember this?
Yes.
Or trafficking any women. And then within the same month said, and the redactions are there because we can't show, it's a lot of it's images, and we can't show images of
ridiculous
rape and death.
Yeah. We know they're just hiding their names.
And
but for him, but here's the thing: there's a 30% of the population of the voting people in this country who are immobile on Trump. Yeah. They're not going to move. The Fox, the Jesse Waters Trained Monkey Act, and all the bullshit that Fox spews every night is going straight into the cortex of 30% of the Americans. They're not movable. But unfortunately for them, there's a lot of low propensity voters that they seem to get access to in 2024, who they're not going to get access to in this fall's election, and maybe not in 2028, because the drumbeat of this Epstein stuff and the insanity of the Iran war, and the high gas prices, and the Israel connections and influence in this country is starting to penetrate. It's all about what penetrates these low propensity voters, right? Because you've got us who are addicted and paying attention, and our friends and our allies And then you've got the 30% over there. It's that middle ground. And I think they're losing them. They're losing them on all sorts of things. And we keep pounding on the Epstein stuff, but there are probably going to be other things by fall. It's this financialized economy, great for his friends, making money on his, speeches and his decision making, or for what passes for decision making in the stock market, is not helping people in this country. And there's no way they can keep his game is always optics, right? He can get up there and say, we're winning the war. There's no inflation. Everybody's happy.
He said
And
there's
you
no
can
inflation.
say
He never said
that, and people will suck it up. But I do want to say one thing, Greg, that I don't agree with you that the speech, and I know other people in Washington who disagree with me on this. I don't think the speech was a total failure at all, because I know MAGAs who were like, we're doing this because these people are evil incarnate. They're Muslim evil incarnate people. They want to kill us. And that's all he needs to do. He just needs to keep saying that. And
that's true, but he didn't really say that much. It was a lot of bluster and, this is the first time ever. This is the greatest thing ever. The greatest. This is the greatest. No president has ever done this. Like there was a lot of that, and I didn't listen to it.
But that's what they like.
Exactly.
I get, yeah.
I think they've lapped that stuff up. Yeah. And when I watch him doing that, I think, oh yeah, I can see that is going to work. That works on.
It's going to work. I do
30%.
think the one thing that I sense out there, and this is from me coming from, Wichita, Kansas, deep red state, Reagan era, like everybody who's now, all those folks I grew up around, and that was stewing with all this stuff, who are hard, are this core, right? And these are people who didn't vote, even then, even though there was like Reagan, patriotic, yay, and a lot of cosplaying patriotism and all of that. They weren't voters. Trump got them out from underneath their rocks to actually admit, we've never voted before. We don't know how to do it, and go through the process and do it. It was fear, afraid of it, intimidated by it, didn't even know how to register to vote. And he got people to a point to where they were willing to admit that, as politically charged as a lot of these folks had always been and outspoken. These folks that because I would ask, I was like, oh, it says you voted? No. And they'd run away because they didn't, right? But he got them to vote. I think if it falls apart with the nation, if the nation really does, the gas prices keep going up, people are losing their jobs, that kind of thing. If the wheels come off the bus, and I'm in rural America here too, in rural New York here too, and I've got neighbors who are farmers and all that. If the wheels come off the bus anymore, even for his supporters, I don't know that they'll stop supporting him, but they think they'll crawl back under the rocks. Yeah. So yes, they're immovable. You can't convince them, their identities have been so adhered and seared to him, and they burnt every bridge with their their friends, their family, their community.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But so I think
it's a vote suppression. It's a vote suppression situation. Yeah. They will not go out and vote. Plus, the SAVE Act might keep all the women from being voted to the rocks. In the first place.
Yeah.
And JD Vance, changed his name like 17 times.
He'll just change his name again.
JD Vance, who's in Hungary, campaigning for Orban. What does that tell you about where we're at? And you haven't even, I don't see on here, maybe you talked about it when you started. I missed the very beginning, but the Christian nationalism that's spewing out of Hegseth.
Yeah, we didn't get to that.
And the DHS, like the Christian stuff that they posted today, and also like it's Protestant but not Catholic.
Right.
It's insanity. I mean, I guess that they know they have 70 million evangelicals in this country. And I guess that they understand that a certain percentage of them will be absolutely down with the Iran war, because they've been told in their churches that those are the forces of Satan.
Wait. Okay, wait. That just made me feel hopeful, because if we just arm all of them and send them to Tehran, it's like we win either way. Either they go down and we win they're not here anymore, or we win the war in Iran, and it's just great, and we
I
can
don't know,
liberate the
man.
people.
That's
You know,
but Hegseth won't put women in, so the women are all going to stay here with their evangelical children. I guess if the
yeah,
Jesus,
they'll be, but all the men who are here won't be. You know, we'll be okay. That would be that's like basically the rapture is what you're describing, which is what they want anyway. They want to be plucked out like McCaslin, by the aliens.
You know what? I think you guys should start wearing conspicuous crosses when you do this.
Oh, okay.
I think next time we do this, we should all wear a cross, like
great big cross.
Levitt. Yeah. And then just, talk the way we talk, but like wear the thing.
Wear the symbols that they've appropriated.
The lies that come out of Caroline Levitt's mouth.
Oh yeah.
And she's wearing that cross. Like, how is it not burning a hole in her clothes?
Well, we had Sherry Jacobus on for Halloween, and she was Carolyn Levitt, and she said every time I tell a lie, my crucifix grows, right?
Yeah.
And I just thought that was a perfect. She had it made out of aluminum foil, so it was also tin foily, and it was a perfect sort of all of this debasement that
remember
done.
In The Great Dictator.
And saying all this,
I'm totally going to start wearing a cross. I'm doing it.
Okay.
In The Great Dictator, the movie, the Adnoid Hinkle, the Adolf Hitler character, they don't have the swastika; they have the double cross, which is that's just,
yeah, I think
good stuff.
The white national stuff is terrifying. It's just the Nazi stuff all over again. All of this happening. I think it's all about that radicalization, and that this drunkard from Fox News has latched himself onto that, and that's his value point at the head of the Pentagon, is to actually try to inspire a stochastic terrorism. It comes at me like that, especially since the big thing that he's done. Yes, he's spewing all of this stuff because that's the propaganda, but propaganda for what? To radicalize people, to harden the base, to radicalize, but to really rip and tear at individuals and get them activated. And he's now allowing, just today I think it was, he lifted the ban for carrying weapons on bases.
Yes.
So we're going to start seeing,
what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? You can't come into people's brains like that, intentionally damage them, and then put a firearm in their hand. Do
you think?
It'd be bad.
And then we got to move on. But do you think that he believes it himself sincerely? Do you think that he really thinks that Jesus wants him to go and kill the Iranians, the Persians, because of, we can't have Catholics, even though all of the Crusaders were Catholic, as somebody pointed out in the chat. Do you think he really believes it? Because I do kind of think he really believes it.
I think that he's replaced, look, he's mentally ill as far as I'm concerned. He's an addict and he's a dry drunk. And I think he's replaced his dry drunkenness with belief in, the higher power stuff. And I think that is his crutch when he's not got a bottle of bourbon in his hand.
That makes sense.
Total guess. I mean, I'm not a shrink, but.
Right.
Yeah. LB, what do you think?
I think he's being told what to say and do.
Okay.
Being told?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, he certainly, his wife does run him, which is ironic given his attitude towards women. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So we gotta move to the next thing. Nina, thank you for joining. I'm glad that you're not freezing your tail off outside of a dive bar on the Lower East Side. But that was fun. That was
right.
Fun.
Nina on the street was the greatest. It was the greatest.
Yeah,
everybody watched Nina on the street.
I'm in my house. We're all in New York, man. We're all in upstate New York. I'm in my house.
Yeah,
it was 70 degrees here today. It's so nice.
It
was so nice today. And then tell us again what we're looking for. American Freak Show, right, is what you're right. Is your regular newsletter. We're looking for some great reporting coming out from you and your team Monday and Tuesday.
American Freak Show, we just focus on the freaks, and we've been deep in the Epstein files, and we're going to continue that. We've got a scoop on Khan, the accountant, and the suitcase that he brought out of the mansion and then brought back. And then my colleague at the Courier News Company down in, he's their DC correspondent, Cam Stevenson. He has a big scoop related to Indike, and that's going to come out Monday. And keep an eye on that, because that's going to make news, and it's probably going to provoke the oversight committee to do some things.
Ooh,
So
Fantastic.
okay.
Oh my God.
Good.
Thank you so much. All
All
of
right.
you. And
Nina
then
Burley,
you have
our
a new
first
book-
guest. Oh,
Your
yeah.
new book. You're going to come back with your new book.
yes,
ready.
I've got many books actually. I got the novel on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Books Imprint, which I'm still I
Mhm.
need to have a book party for in New York and promote.
Yes, please.
And then
Yes,
I've got
please.
I've got the book on the Dominica murder case, which is the one I'm working on now. And then I'm working on another little book for 7 stories later in the year on right-wing women. And every day it becomes more relevant with Pam Bondi. See that all the women are going down. He's throwing them under the bus. So you got MTG and Noam and Bondi, and we're going to get interviews with some of them, I think, before it's all
It's going to be fun. It's gonna
Okay,
be fun.
good.
All right, Nina, 4 years ago, we said the same thing to you. We said, thank you for being on the show. And whatever we said, because I was
And
just
God
as shitty
bless.
with transitions then
And
as I
God
am now.
bless America.
God bless.
Next time you see me, I'm going to be wearing a little cross.
There we go.
All right. We're going to hold you to that. Nina Burley,
Good.
everybody. Thanks, Nina.
Bye,
Okay,
Nina.
so we're going to continue we're going to play the little clips in between
okay.
the segments. And when the clip is over, our guest will be here. It'll
And
be
the
like
clip
magic.
can even be a little clue like that one
It'll
was.
be like a little clue, just
A
maybe
little
a little clue. This is an older one.
Okay,
But a goodie.
I'm ready.
Will people care that we sailed on your yacht? Yes, we're certain they will think that it's great. Should we declare all the swag that we got? Just dine on our swastika plate. Oh, we get rich with a little gift from the crows. Please do not snitch so that nobody knows that we have hitched our wagon to the crows. Will you come to Indonesia? We love vacations with you. Will you then get amnesia? We won't tell anyone what we do. Oh, private jet, a little gift from the crows. Stuff that we get, we forget to disclose. What about Brett and his debt? Well, who knows? Yeah, we're all set, 'cause we're friends with the crows. We're friends with the crows.
Oh yeah. Friends with the Crows. Lisa Graves.
Lisa Graves!
How are you?
Hilarious. That was hilarious.
Lisa Graves, there's snow out your window.
There is. We got about 6 inches last night. So it
I'm
is
sorry. This
winter.
is the longest winter.
Well, in Wisconsin, Minnesota, you have winter, you have fake spring, you have winter, second winter, then you've got like full spring. So it's just a constant change, but it's great. The snow is great. It's good for the aquifers. It's good for the lakes. It's
Yeah.
for the plants and the trees and the bunnies and the whole gang. So I'm happy to have more snow. Of course, I don't,
You keep telling yourself that.
how it, my husband does, so that's easy for me to say. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not miss
I
the
feel
snow.
you in upstate New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I miss you, Lisa. I feel like we haven't heard from you in like a million years, even though.
I
I
know.
miss you. I miss our little 5'8.5" that's on hiatus, but it's nice to be here with you on the OG 5'8" and celebrate the anniversary. Honored to be part of the team.
Yay.
We're happy to have you. We're happy to have you. And it's a good week for you to be here because there's been Supreme Court stuff happening, including something that's never happened before, where a sitting president went to the Supreme Court during the arguments. I mean, a president has done it because William Howard Taft obviously was the president and the Chief Justice, but it weren't concurrent. So that's crazy. But what did you make of that? And then we want to talk also about this whole birthright citizenship thing, and what it might mean, and anything else that's on your mind, really.
Well, I joke that I really thought it was going to be hard for Trump to sit for an hour and not say anything unless he was asleep. But I don't have any inside information that he snoozed during part of it. But, true to his mode of operation, he left before he heard the opposition argument. So,
Right.
don't want to no. Don't want to hear the arguments against his really outlandish, flagrantly unconstitutional position. But then he, hustled back to the White House to give a ridiculous speech with this sort of weird gold eagle, pedestal in front of him, in which he told these faux religious leaders, these sellouts, these suck-ups and sycophants, that, hey, Christians celebrating the Holy Week. Yeah, well, this war thing means we don't have any money for Medicare or Medicaid or, school lunch or,
any of the things Jesus would do. Yeah.
Any of those things.
Yeah.
And no one walked out of that room. They just basically applauded him, comparing himself to Jesus coming into Jerusalem on the donkey, that story, from the Bible, and then asserted that if he were really king, he would be able to do anything, and not have any limits whatsoever. So he was his usual unrepentant self, which I have to say is ironic given the context. But back to the court. I don't know if he thought that he was going to be intimidating his buddies. I'm not sure what kind of Svengali love fest was going on between him and Alito. But I do think that the arguments of John Sauer, his Solicitor General, were hard to listen to, not just because his voice sounds like a bobcat in the mountains. But his arguments were hard to listen to because it was like Glenn Beck on steroids, putting these little conspiracy theories together about how supposedly the precedent that's been on the books for over 100 years, the language of the 14th Amendment somehow doesn't mean what it says, that they could just, presto magic, change it and say that Trump can change the status of citizens. And it's all supposedly fully consistent with the law and history, even though it's absolutely inconsistent and outlandish. So yeah, it was outlandish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The part that got me was, I think it was Gorsuch, right? Who asked, would your theory about, how to interpret the 14th Amendment also apply to Native Americans? And the guy was like, I hadn't thought about that, but probably. Let me take a look at it. It's like, oh my God. So what they're really, at the core of that really is the president, being Donald Trump, gets to determine who's a citizen and who's not. It's just going to come down to that for them. That's the power that they want.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power they want. And they want it. They're like, oh, no, this is just perspective. But as one of the other justices pointed out, and others have as well, there's no limit on that principle. If they assert that the president, that these individuals who are Americans are somehow not Americans because of a stroke of a pen, Donald Trump declared them not to be, based on their parent status, even though the Constitution doesn't say based on your parent status, you could become a citizen. It says if you're born here, you're a citizen, which is consistent with the common law in the United States, the common law of England, going back to the 1600s. So the notion of these right-wing, politicians in robes on the Supreme Court who want to pretend that they're all about history, like with the gun cases, claiming that you can't have any gun laws that weren't consistent with whatever the law was in 1791, or the like. These same guys are now possibly prepared to go along with Trump saying, oh yeah, but ignore 400 years of history, even, that predates the Constitution that we were consistent with, which is about this Latin term jus soli, which is you're born where, on the soil, where you're born, the soil you're born on, that's your citizenship. You're subject to the
That's
king.
your nation. Yeah.
That's the origin. And interestingly, not that it's binding any of these Mad King, tweets or social media posts by Trump, but he comes out of the courtroom saying it's stupid. It's so stupid to have citizenship by birth. Yeah, well, whatever, but that's what the Constitution requires, dude. And you took an oath to uphold it. And the guy there in the middle Roberts is the one who gave you the oath, and like immediately within minutes after swearing an oath to uphold the Constitution, there was Donald Trump with his magic marker, declaring that people who are born in the United States aren't citizens, despite the language of the 14th Amendment, which says if you're born in the United States, you're a citizen. And then, the other part of it is this notion of the language subject to the jurisdiction, which, historically has meant a diplomat is not subject to the jurisdiction, which is why you all know in New York City and thereabouts, there are all these parking tickets on these diplomatic vehicles because we can't subject them to our laws in that way. And those embassies are considered to be the territory of those countries. And so they're not really, they're not subject to the US laws. And so those are the rules. But, John Sauer is a stooge for Trump and will say anything to advance his extreme claims. And people like John Eastman, who, has been subject to a lot of rightful criticism for his ridiculous, again, theories that Trump didn't have to leave office and they could somehow get the vice president to stop the counting of the vote and Trump could just stay. That John Eastman is one of the guys who's been backing this ridiculous theory. And, the Claremont Institute is the group that sounds pretty official, but basically it's the group that funds John Eastman to say whatever he wants, and is funded by one of the big hedge funder right-wing dudes, one of the guys that has long funded these sorts of operations.
Bush, who is it?
It's Thomas Kleinstein, and
okay, not the guy. Okay.
And by the way, speaking of Jenny Thomas and Clarence Thomas, he's one of the guys that underwrote the biopic of Clarence Thomas, the one that we dug into and found. Oh, there was Harlan Crow and Kleinstein and these other guys funding Clarence Thomas's biopic, in which he famously says, and I'll paraphrase, that hey. I love my RV so much. I'm a man of the people. I love parking my RV in the Walmart parking lot better than parking at the beach. Underwritten by the billionaires and demi-billionaires. And then, of course, as your video made great fun of, there was all the trips on the yachts with Harlan Crow and the jets and everything. So that's who these people are. And by the way, that same operation, the Claremont operation, is the one that has helped underwrite a part of the so-called constitutional sheriff's nonsense, the claim that sheriffs have super duper supreme powers to just go and seize ballots like they've done in Riverside, California, and other places. Some of, like in that case, it's a sheriff who's both a so-called constitutional sheriff and an oath keeper who apparently the oath doesn't actually involve the actual words of the Constitution. Just whatever they pretend it to be. And, we're the ones who were instrumental in some of the behind the scenes activities around the violent January 6th insurrection. But so the Supreme Court could rule in Trump's favor because there are enough Republican judges on that court who were willing to ignore the Constitution to give him immunity. So
you think they will, Lisa?
Well, my cynic or my skeptic is at war with my optimistic self because it would be insane for them to rule in his favor. This is a ridiculous case. Should have been laughed out of court. Shouldn't have had oral arguments. Shouldn't have made it to the court by bypassing the circuit court. Shouldn't have been part of the emergency orders that this court issued last year, stopping nationwide injunctions about who is a citizen. So if this were pre-2024 or maybe even pre-2022, I would say no way he wins. It's 9-0 against him. But given what this court has done, given the Dobbs decision, given the immunity decision, given 24 emergency orders last year, he could get some votes. I don't think he's going to get 5 because there was certainly some skepticism by Barrett and Gorsuch and Roberts. But I don't give that much credit because these guys have basically, been pushing the gas for Trump. And maybe this is just like, well, we don't need to do this to move through their broader agenda, to move through their voting rights, to move through the other things they're doing to dismantle campaign finance, anti-corruption laws and the like. So they don't need
democracy stuff. Yeah. I find it terrifying. what's sort of the next terrifying thing coming through the courts? What's got your attention?
Wait. Before you answer the question, quickly, John Eastman
Yes.
is on our pool table
Yeah.
at the beginning of the show. He's the one who says fifth.
Fifth.
And every time we say fifth on the show, we have to drink. It's just a guy
Oh,
that we
okay.
I'm on it.
John Eastman. Here we go.
Yeah. Also, sheriff. I believe that's a Persian word, isn't it? Sharif. Anyway,
Sharif.
continue.
You know, there if only there were audio. There was a debate a couple of years back at the University of Boulder, or Colorado CU Boulder, where I debated John Eastman and made him turn bright red. But they moved the forum to a bigger auditorium, and they didn't film it. But if I had it, I'd be putting that clip on blast because I got so far under his skin. And then the capper was I had to debate his wife on the next panel, crushed her, and he just stared at me from the audience with like laser
beams. Well, he ended up in his underwear. Didn't he end up in his underwear?
No, that's Clark. That's Jeffrey Clark.
Oh, Clark.
I get them
right.
mixed up too. I get them mixed up too.
As a badge of honor.
Yeah.
As a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So what's coming down the pipe? What's coming down the pipe?
What's terrifying you?
Yeah, one of the reasons why I think the court might rule against Trump, not besides the merits, he should lose. But one of the reasons is because it will give Roberts and his cohorts on the court cover to strike down and crush the last really remaining enforcement mechanism of the Voting Rights Act in Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. And so then they would get these all too subservient Supreme Court reporters would be like, yeah, well, he did strike down the Voting Rights Act, but they didn't allow birthright citizenship. So look, it's all okay, sort of in the wash. They don't always rule in his favor. They're not in his pocket.
It's like a New York Times pitch bot thing.
Exactly. It is
Yeah.
the New York Times pitch bot with, and so that's what, so basically if they, ruling against him on tariffs, which plainly unconstitutional, the Constitution expressly says Congress has the power of tariffs. This area plainly not the president's role to basically change who's citizens and who's not by, ripping away the longstanding interpretation and the plain language of the 14th Amendment. But Roberts is pretty political, as I describe in my book. He's someone who has his eye on the ball of the long-term agenda that he's trying to move into law to regress our country back to pre-New Deal, pre-progressive era.
Stone Age? Back to the Stone Age?
Back to the Stone Age.
For America, Robert Barron era. And so, ruling against him would basically create a mixed message for the American people. Oh, maybe the court isn't so bad. Oh, maybe they're not totally in the can. They did rule against him and Trump whined mightily about it. Meanwhile, they're giving away the store on all the other major cases.
That makes it. That's totally what's going to happen. Totally
Makes sense. And sometimes you think it's even like the birthright citizenship was even like, we're not going to get this, but it shows the base that he's out there fighting. He's actually showing up in the court, even though, so he gets all the propaganda goodies that he wants to get out of it. He gets all the benefit.
And some of his allies have been saying just that, Stephanie. Like they've been saying, oh, this just moves the ball forward on their long-term effort to redefine who is a citizen. And so they acknowledge this is like a long shot is generous. It's a generous description for what I would consider to be a frivolous set of arguments being made by these lawyers and being made by this administration. But for them, it's part of that Overton window.
I was just going to say the Overton window's, moving. So
it's going to be either 2 or 3 against the rest. Amy's not doing it. Gorsuch's not doing it. Roberts not doing it. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think the vote count is that right. It's like probably 6-3 against him.
Yeah, maybe 7-2. But yeah.
Alito, just willing.
Alito and Thomas are going to do
okay,
whatever.
I want to talk about Alito for a minute because I read this wonderful thing that said that Alito was very ill and had to be hospitalized, and he's sick, and maybe he's possibly on the way out. And I just thought to myself, I hope that whatever he has when he goes to the hospital, the doctors say to him, whatever, we have the medical thing that you need to save your life. but we're not going to give it to you because it's against the law based on a Supreme Court ruling. Because that would be such a delicious irony.
Oh, you mean he needs embryonic fluid or tissue or
whatever it is,
Yeah.
Make it like
Greg wants
the
him
ectopic
hoisted by his
pregnancy
own
thing.
petard.
I want him to suffer.
Well,
like that.
the thing about that event in Philadelphia the other evening and the release of him going to the hospital for, rehydration or dehydration or something.
Right.
To me, that seems a bit convenient given the speculation that he's going to step down at the end of this term in order to basically extend this right-wing hold on that seat for another 20 or 30 years and give Trump a battle to sort of juice his base in August and September by choosing another
Pam Bondi.
or
Alina Habba, probably.
Eileen Cannon.
Yeah, I mean, Eileen Cannon.
Yeah,
There's
it'll
a
be
lot of
Cannon.
options, and Trump would choose either a former lawyer of his, someone who has been part of his criminal defense team, one of his criminal lawyers, or someone who's aided his criming, like Eileen Cannon. But so I sort of wonder, like, maybe he was dehydrated, maybe he needed to go to the hospital, maybe it's also part of this sort of like, oh, he's not leaving for political reasons, he's going to leave for health and to spend more time with his family, sort of thing, in order to give Trump, a political battle that he would want, and also to basically make, keep their clutches on that seat for another 10 or 20 years into like 2050 or something.
That doesn't make me as happy as I wanted it to be.
No, sorry about that, Greg.
Yeah,
sorry
it
about
doesn't
that.
make me as happy. We're one of the many things we're going to have to do after we seize all the wealth from the billionaires and these people. We need to make like 81 Supreme Court justices and just flush these guys out. But
Yeah.
I don't know. He is fond of flags. His wife is fond of flags. Maybe he's now also become fond of flags, or maybe he wants to go to every Washington Nationals home game. Can't do that when you're a Supreme Court justice.
Well, I mean, her comments to Lauren Windsor on that audio, that interview in essence at the Supreme Court Historical Society, it certainly sounded like she, Mrs. Alito, was ready to get out of Dodge and not be constrained in her ability to fly her freak flags of January 6th sympathy.
Yeah.
What have you, and also the audacity. I just going back to that episode that Lauren got her, speaking about the idea that she's so offended that an American puts up a rainbow flag for gay rights, like that's offensive to her. How dare they? And so she puts up her own flag at their seaside, second home or something. Like, Mrs. Alito, how about reading the Constitution? How about reading the First Amendment? Those Americans have a right to put up those flags. And by the way, if you're the spouse of a Supreme Court justice, yeah, I think you actually probably should not be, taking sides in a political matter. But of course, her husband is very political, very partisan, and auditioned for the job in the Supreme Court, in essence, through his partisan rulings as a judge. And there's this memo that Alito wrote when he was applying for a job within the Justice Department, in which he talked about his, deep devotion to overturning Roe, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
So, like, this is a guy who was never going to be a fair judge. He's not a fair judge. He shouldn't be a judge. If he stepped down, I would applaud his departure and say, yeah, get out of here. You've been a disgrace to the bench in so many ways. And also, like, I know now I'm on a rant, but like, come on. Alito, the dude who claimed it was okay for him to accept a private jet ride with Paul Singer, one of these, right-wing billionaires, because supposedly they were going to the same place and he had an empty seat on the jet. They were going to the same place because they were going to the same resort.
Lisa, that happens to me all the time. As a Supreme Court justice, I'm surrounded by so many billionaires with private jets that I am obligated to help them out. Because it's going to be wasted. I've got to go on these private jets.
Yeah.
Not even planes. I've got to go on these private jets. And at G5, G6, I like them. I have my certain leathers that I like. There's certain. I become like accustomed to this. Yeah,
Well,
it's insane.
It's insane. Like, and he didn't disclose
Go
it.
be at a private law firm. You know, you don't get to have the perks of.
Oh, but he wouldn't have that perk at a private law firm. He ain't going nowhere with Paul Singer if he's some schmuck at a private
I'm
law
just
firm.
saying these guys want the perks of like being these very, very wealthy, powerful attorneys who have their own firms, you know, who partnered or founders of a big, huge firm. They want all the perks that come along with that, but they didn't have what it takes to actually have that rise to that, or they just.
And they
I'm
didn't want to do
sorry.
the work. So they
They
should just
wanna
do
do the
Chat
work. They
GPT.
Slum it, you know, just sort of, you know.
But they want the power. They want the
Clarence
power.
Thomas just rolling around there in laziness, but they get to get the praise, and at some point it was, hey, we want the fancy shit, you know.
Yeah. Well, they want it while also having the power to rule on our rights. You shouldn't get both. You can go off and be the billionaire's tools and hang out. Although, as you point out, they might not get the perks without the power, because that's the whole exchange. They get to keep them in power by helping them live the lifestyle of the rich and famous, while they still are ruling on our rights. So, I mean, this court has been so captured, has been so corrupted. There's been no reform. We need to put all things on the table in terms of court expansion, jurisdictional changes, term limits, like the whole 9 yards, but also for the broader courts. Like, why should anyone get a lifetime on the Supreme Court? They could be put into senior status, like basically retired. We should not have judges who are serving 30 or 40 years. No. You know, it's so unhealthy for democracy. And here these judges are basically, with Roberts at the helm, acting like they're their own sort of lever of the Republican Party, helping them numerous times this year. Like you all saw just this past month, the court allowed Texas to go forward last December with its redistricting, then allowed California to respond in kind, but then blocked New York, can't have New York change its redistricting rules. So, and that was, that was Alito, by the way, who did that, who intervened in that way. And they're about to change the rules around elections in terms of how votes are counted. They're considering blocking the counting of any vote that is postmarked before the election but arrives.
Yeah, that's the one that's terrifying.
They're just. Is that asshole? Is DeJoy still in charge of the post?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I did my best to try to get him removed. Ran into some trouble with Biden administration, unfortunately, with some of these privateers who were still on the board, who were trying to basically move the Postal Service into a position to be parted out to FedEx or, UPS. Got one of those guys, one of those privatization guys off of the board, but did not get enough votes to actually remove DeJoy. And now here we are with DeJoy using that power to consolidate where envelopes are postmarked, so that they're not postmarked at your local post office unless you walk into the building and wait in line. You can put it in the postal box outside the post office. It will get sent to a remote location, and then it won't get stamped until it arrives, or won't get canceled until it arrives at that remote location. And then you have the ridiculous assertion of Trump last night. I don't know, it's all 24-hour cycles or 48 hours, where he claimed that he could issue an executive order asserting that all ballots have to have some special tracking code, and has Louis DeJoy issuing some new special tracking code, and no ballots will be counted unless they had that. And they, claim that they're going to look at all the voting rolls and pre-approve who can vote, who's a citizen. And just by the way, there's going to be litigation over that. It is unacceptable, unconstitutional, not within the president's power, but that's what's happening. And I'm sure DeJoy will help him. But the other part of that is just the notion, they're claiming they're going to check names to see who's a citizen. And I swear to you, there are 30 Lisa Graveses, and my name isn't even common, So right-wingers are like, oh, we're going to cross-check your name. What state do you belong in? Et cetera, et cetera. We've seen studies back when the Republicans were actually opposed to these, really stringent voter ID bills, where they called them 1-800-Big Brother. That was where Congressman Barr and these other members were like, yeah, we can't have this sort of, the government deciding who you are sort of thing, way back when, 20 years ago. But the studies on that showed that for citizens, the error rate was 10% at least in not knowing that you're the real you.
Yeah.
This was in the context of getting permission to work from the federal government, that you would have to somehow prove, not to your employer, but the federal government, that you are who you are. And it was a 50% error rate if you were someone who immigrated here or were a child of an immigrant because of the common names, a common name situation. So if they take over our elections or are allowed to do so, they're going to be basically, blocking people from voting just because there's someone else in their state or, another state that has their name, and, and then will your vote count? So we've got to stop them. We have to stop them. We have to overcome them.
We're going to stop them.
We're going to stop them. I love that you brought attention to that. I'm just like, okay, everyone's focus needs to be back on the voting stuff.
Yeah.
Just back on all the fuckery around it. You just went through a whole bunch of information, but I know there's even more, right? So we just have to sort of keep our eyes on it. Everyone be really on top of your registration, making sure you've got everything you need. I don't care if they're going to say you got to bring your passport. I got my passport. Like, have it all together so that we have everything we need. And if it means, okay, I've got to do a mail-in ballot and you need to wait in line for half a day at the post office to make sure it gets stamped there, then that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you,
You
Lisa.
can do like stamps.com and shit. Lisa, we love you. Thank you so much for coming
I
on.
love you so much.
I miss
It's
you.
so good to
Hello
see you.
everyone.
I know. Come back soon. Come back soon. Come back soon, please. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Here, number 3.
Absurd, you've re-platformed cat turd, yay and libs of TikTok. Elon, this is such a crock. Ari with the yacht hose, we know how the song goes. Cheered on SNL, booed off Dave Chappelle. Fire the programmers, then ask them back. Throw Twitter down the shitter like Tesla stock. Ad hoc, run fake polls, let Trump back on. Even Donald knows that you're a laughing stock. Leftists turning on you in a hurry, woke my virus breathing down your neck. New York Times reporters baffled dumb for shills, Barry Weiss and Matt Taibbi. Overflow, population exodus, Elton John storming off with hope, serving all your own needs, smugglers of LSD, 44 billion up in smoke, what a choke. You, pony buying, Putin lying, alt-right apartheid loser, going broke. It's not the end of the world, just of Twitter. It's not the end of the world, just of Twitter. It's not the end of the world, just of Twitter. I'm a mastodon.
Yeah.
I forgot
I
about
know there's two Elon ones, but that one was animation wise when that came in. I remember you and I just fell over. We had no idea what to expect, how that was going to get animated. And it was so, and remains so genius. Just the genius of Chunk.
The genius of Chunk.
The genius of Chunk.
Now, do we have any announcements? One announcement is next week there is going to be no show. We're taking off next week.
Taking off next week.
We had a bunch of shows in a week. We did the Sunday one.
We had a bunch of shows in the week.
If you missed the Sunday one, just watch the Sunday one on Friday. In fact, maybe I'll program the Sunday one to launch on Friday.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, we should do that. And then after hours tonight, I'll try to have a drink. I'm trying to stay awake. I'm here. I'll try to make it through. But
all right, now he's been there the entire time, and now he's vanished.
No.
Yeah, because he's having computer problems because it's the thing. But before Chunk comes on, we're gonna have another special guest. But we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Is there anything else we wanted to cover? Like the God, there was so much content tonight. This is good.
There's a lot. Oh wait, something's happening. Okay.
All right. I think I don't even know. By the way, just you guys out there watching this can't tell, but we have this whole like thing below, okay, which we call the green room, where we can see the people, and anybody can make their name whatever it is. Mine is Greg Oliar. Hers is Stephanie LB. So when Donnie logged in originally, right before I was about to do the intro, it said, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." All in caps. And it totally made me laugh just as I was about to talk. So it looks like we're not going to get the no, maybe we are. I don't know what's happening now.
Can you add yourself, my friend?
No. Let's. We have to see
All right,
what he's
we're
doing.
gonna
So
add.
it might be.
Let's try.
I know what he's trying to do.
I know what he's trying to do too, and we don't know. So sorry, everybody. Up.
Here we go.
Okay.
No, it's not working.
right.
That's all right. We don't
Not
care.
working.
It's okay.
Okay,
We
don't worry.
had enough content tonight. We had enough
Don't worry.
content. So what we want to do here in this part of the show, because this is the 5th segment, is bring on the genius who makes the animations
That's
and who's
right.
very much a part of this entire 5/8 experience.
Absolutely.
And his name is Donnie Gillespie, and you know him as Chunk. And Donnie, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Please tell me you can hear me.
I can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Amazing.
Oh God,
You have
Donnie.
no idea. Like I just
I can imagine. I can imagine. I like your setup. It's a little bit different than where we've seen you
sort of.
before.
And it's blocking a lot of shit that you can't see right now. But yeah. I
Yeah.
had everything working. I promise I did. And then suddenly it didn't. So
Yeah.
I need a new computer. But oh well.
That
How you
happens.
doing?
That happens. How are you? Can you believe it's been
I'm
4
okay.
years?
No. Another reason why I need a new computer because my hard drive is fried.
Is it the same?
Like it's
No.
all 5/8 videos right now.
Put them in a file. Put them in a Google Drive or something.
Yeah.
I started doing that. I started uploading it to that. I also have a separate hard drive that I'm using, but yeah.
Well, how are you doing? How are you feeling about what's popping out for you in the state of the world? Maybe even
Oh
like
man, I
reflectively looking
wish I
back.
could show
we
you
are
my
now.
setup right now. Like
The what?
I wish I could show you my setup right now. I've got a camera over here to show what should have been Trump, and then I've got all of my notes
Oh.
of ideas of stupid jokes that I was going to
so
add.
sorry.
Things
Okay.
that I was coming up like on the fly, and it's ridiculous. So that's where my brain is at right now.
Yeah.
I was
We
so
can just
ready
do
to
the
start-
jokes. You want to just do the
So-
jokes?
So here we go. If I showed up and if it was Trump, I would have started by saying, "It's let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things, and there's no bad things. There's only good things. It's the best things, like nobody's ever seen before. Sex. Anyway,
We can ask
And
him
then-
about that. Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That-
surprised nobody had any questions for him. Like that's a perfect.
Because he
opportunity
did.
for
Trump,
somebody to
just
say-
for people
he just
watching,
opened it
Trump
up.
did say that. He did say,
did.
ask me
He did.
anything. We can talk about sex. He did. He
Because
literally said this.
And it was like, oh, okay. I think everybody was probably just fumbling over all their shit, just like their brains exploding. Like, how am I going to come up with a question for this guy all of a sudden? And I've got all
Yeah.
these things and talking about Iran. I want to talk about, but no, they missed the shot. They totally
Did
missed
Mr.
the
Shot, did
Like,
you blow Bubba or
yeah.
did Bubba blow you? That's the question.
Or
that I-
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Epstein, you were good friends. Yeah, and it's a lie. You're not exonerated, you motherfucker. Nice try, but
Yeah.
yeah.
What
I
do you
don't
think
know.
about Iran's Lego videos? Are you seeing these?
Yes, I am, and I do think they have a small entertainment value, but I'm probably going to disappoint people. I get turned off so quickly about AI stuff.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I know I've used it on this show before. Just as a cutting
Okay.
corners mechanism or means of getting things done really quickly.
Yeah.
But the way those videos, I know nobody's spending a whole lot of time on it. Somebody's just got prompts, but and then I have no idea who it's coming from and what accounts are they even posted from? Like, how do we even know that
From
they're
the
Iranian?
Iranian,
Like, is it from
it is like what was the one
like
here,
Khomeini's kid or?
No,
I
from,
think the
like,
South
official
African
account.
embassy, Iran's embassy in South Africa is leading
Is
the
doing
world
all
in
of-
trolling right
It's
now.
leading the way.
Okay. So it's just the embassy, and
I
not
guess. I don't know.
necessarily
I don't know what the answer is to your question.
But
I
not the
don't know.
royal family or.
Here's the more sort
but
of thing
totally-
to talk about with you, right? About that. So
Yeah, focus
Let's go
on dumb
back
stuff.
to 10 years ago. What's going back 10, 11 years ago, right? When we first started finding each other and collaborating, and your ability to, it wasn't just, I don't want to call them memes, Chunk, because it was like, it was more advanced. You were doing like it was like in the realm of great cartoonists, political cartoonists
Absolutely.
that were animated
you.
in the new medium of social media in ways that could be shared, in ways that could be turned into the GIFs, all of that you were sort of, and you carved out this corner that really frustrated the MAGA meme lords, right? That Donald had on the payroll, that were the early guys. And I would watch them. They would be like, all right, they would fight with you. And they'd be like, God, he's good, right? It was just frustrated them that somebody could outdo them and that it's creatively in the thing that they were trying, the corner of the market they were trying to have, which is, we're going to do all these, political memes for Trump. And some of those characters I know for certain didn't even like him, weren't even in his politics. They just liked
fucking with people.
They just like fucking with people. They were just trolls, right? So now it's actually that art form, that political art form, is being used by an adversary nation state during a time of war as part of their warfare.
Yeah.
Could you have ever foreseen that?
No, not at all. There was a time when when I first started, like you're saying, then I kind of got recruited to help out with a couple groups to start feeding some of these memes out and being quick response. It wasn't like a rapid response account or anything like that. It was just fighting that, because it is warfare. It's mimetic warfare. There is a document on it, and I know an NSA document. I think there's probably several iterations since then, that one I saw, but it's a legitimate thing, and it's all about morale and mental, fighting, mind warfare, basically. Everything that, we don't like him, but Mike Flynn knows exactly what this is. He was trying to make digital warriors and bullshit. Steve Bannon, same thing. And I don't know. I think they saw the fruits of it with this last election, the 2024 election, because there's so many kids, so many goddamn millennials and Gen Z more than
Zoomers.
anything, that joined the board. And I think they probably were part of some of those Gamergate forums and things like that. I don't know. But it was really weird. I don't know how because that is not what I do for a living. It's just fun, and it is a creative outlet. But I would never have foreseen necessarily that it's getting to. I mean, I could have seen that other people start using these mechanisms, these tools against other countries and foes and stuff, but for Iran to do it, it's just, we're laughing about it. It's not breaking our psyche, but I think it probably does mess with MAGA a little bit. I mean, we're people on the left, moderates, they're not going to, it's funny, but it's not going to destroy us at all. It's messing with MAGA.
Where it is interfering is if there was any moral, political, ethical, any of the things for backing this administration to have this war, whether it was like evaluating it as a national security threat, any of the things that would get moderates, independents, folks that might not be all MAGA, but might be like, okay, we're going to war and there's reasons for going to war. This kind of thing coming from the folks that we're attacking sets everybody back on their heels of not supporting. So it is effective in that way.
Yeah,
It's not,
yeah.
it's effective
'cause
in the way it's like, God, they're
I see
fucking
that.
one-upping us, right? And it's it does have an effect. It does.
Also, it's getting much more publicity than the stuff that's coming out of who is it? It wasn't the State Department. Was it the Department of Labor? I can't remember. Somebody's Twitter account from one of the departments under one of the main.
I think it
it's
was
the
Department
labor
of Labor.
or
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. I know what you're talking about.
where there was some guy or whoever it was that knows what they're doing, and they're posting these videos that are purposefully kind of scary.
Yeah, white
right?
supremacist stuff. Yeah.
Yes, very much white supremacist
Yep.
stuff, and gleefully doing it, and completely out in the open about it. I haven't seen so much of those guys lately,
Hmm.
so they're getting kind of whittled out, I guess, maybe, or maybe they're still pumping it out. I just haven't paid attention very much.
Maybe. Yeah, they're getting outplayed at
Yeah.
least in the viral, the exposure game. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess just to kind of sum up my thought on all of it is that I punch up as much as I can,
Mm-hmm.
because these motherfuckers are punching down all day long, they're kicking down, they're stomping down, and man, so if there's, I don't blast people that I know aren't in power. There's people that I've responded to on Twitter that I know are just like me, just some yahoo out in the wilderness, but I don't try to win wars with them. It's just a way to say, F you, you are nothing to the people that are above us in power. It's just one little outlet we have,
Hmm.
but I know they don't see it a lot of the time, but I don't care.
No, you're one of the few that got blocked.
I was just going to say the same thing. Yeah, that's a badge of honor, man.
I know,
Big
but I
badge.
gotta think it was probably Danny Scavino or
Yeah. Oh, sure.
somebody. They probably got a lot of block that night. I don't know.
They
I know
blocked
that-
you. What was
Yeah.
it for? Was it for the Trump on the wind machine with his hair? What do you think?
No, I wish. Oh man, I wish, because then that would tell me they saw it.
Oh, they
No,
saw
I
it.
just the what was it? Joseph Arpaio, Sharif.
Sharif.
His I don't know, was it when he got pardoned or his sentence commuted or something like that, and Trump went down there to celebrate with him.
Yeah.
And all I did, it was whatever I said was just something stupid. Like I used a lot of FUs.
Oh, it was just a verbal text.
Yeah, I mean,
was just
that's
a
what
text.
sucks. It wasn't a meme. There wasn't anything.
Oh
hard
no,
about it. It's just,
it wasn't your
whatever.
art.
yeah. I worked
Let me,
so hard.
I can say from experience, the shit that you want to go viral never goes viral. It's always the thing you just do right
no
off,
doubt.
like without even thinking about it, and then you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
that's happened so many times.
Yeah.
it's just it's a
Like,
Like
really
I'll work
bad.
on things, and
natural
there's
law.
things that I think are just awesome, just amazing things that I'm really proud of, and it's like not shared at all. I'm like, okay, I'm doing that again.
Now, I think Isaac Newton wrote about this. This is like the third law of physics, maybe. It's just like
Yeah,
the best things will never be seen. It's just the way that it is. It's the way that it flies.
Exactly.
I don't know. We're so happy that you're a part of this, and I'm so happy
happy to be a
because
part of it.
I want to talk for a second about like inside baseball here, because
Speaking of,
Oh,
oh, you
I
never
saw
be
you wearing a
wrong.
jacket. And I wouldn't be wearing this jacket at all.
getting ready.
No, because you guys were all dressed up, so whatever.
Not really. I like how you're dressed
Anyway,
up.
inside baseball.
Inside baseball.
No, the inside baseball. So, like, for me, one of the highlights of the week, really one of the highlights in general of my life, is like I create this thing, or we create this audio thing and send it to you, and then I'm done, And then on Friday, something comes like as this is like delivered by a stork at the maternity ward or Santa down the chimney. This video, and it's always fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's such it's so great for me. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like I don't even know how to describe the feeling, but how is it for you, this part of the process? Because I just send you random shit and you're like, fuck, I've got 2 days to do something, and some are better than others. I'm aware of this, like some of them I know are like, this one's fucking good. And some of them are like,
And then some
this
of
will
them
get
were
us
like, oh, he
through.
mailed this fucking. He just totally. He had no time on this. I could tell right away. Yeah. Sorry. Did I say fifth? That's just Dr. Pepper. Yeah. So, it amazes me, for one, that you're able to put. Okay, people in the audience. Greg puts together a song, and not only does he have to write the lyrics for it, which, holy crap, that's part one. That's just, I can't even imagine doing that every week, much less then putting together the guitar with it. And something, I know that you're using inspirational music to pull from, but so it amazes me that you get anything out before Thursday.
It amazes me too.
And then so when I get it on, it's usually Wednesday or Thursday. It's fine. If it's Thursday, that's when I'm starting to cut corners, and I'm thinking of AI or Grok or some other bullshit that I have to make it quick. But there's always little things in there that I will read. I'll take I wanted to show it to you, but my workspace is completely destroyed right now because I
gosh.
All right.
tried to. Oh, here we go. I have.
Oh, look at that.
And I take all of your songs and I make, this is no joke, every single song that
Proper writer's notebook.
I write down the lyrics, because
Meal notebook.
Greg
Yeah.
thankfully writes down and types all the lyrics out for me. And then, and usually I know exactly what song it is before I even have to hear it. Sometimes I have to hear it because Uncultured Swine. Sorry. Lost my mic. Can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
can hear you.
All right. So then, yeah, I just make notes. I draw little pictures. I give myself just some sort of inspiration. There's little, lines or two that I figure, oh, I can do this. I can do that. I can put together some character for it. And it really just gets the juices flowing. So it's a blast.
Yay.
I love it. Are there any because I can, my favorite, I think we can all agree that the Crimson and Elon one is the best one. I think that's my best one and your best one. And it's just,
And that was one of the easiest ones I've ever done. Again. Yeah.
But is there anyone that you think is better than other ones? Because I think the one you did for the the, what is it called? The Seven Nation Army.
Oh yeah.
That video
was
thing
fun.
is so good. It was so good.
And sometimes it just kind of works out for you because the video, the music, the song usually has a video to come along with it. Sometimes if it's older, it doesn't. But if it's a recent one like Seven Nation Army, it had a video. And so obviously I'm going to use that for some sort of inspiration. But then actually, if I think, probably not the ad that we did for Live Golf.
Yeah. We
Like-
almost played that again, but we played it a lot.
But
So we're
But it's not as timely. It's not in the news anymore. And Saudi Arabia doesn't care so much about golf as much as they do whatever the hell they're trying to do right now.
I don't know what they're trying to do.
Playing
right
both
now.
sides is what they're doing right now.
Oh yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Mhm.
But no, I really, there's some of them that I had time to do, and it's not like you gave me another extra day or something like that. It was like what was going on in life, I didn't have much to work on, so I had time during the day or evening. Lately, it's been a little scarce of time in the evenings, but yeah, it's always good to do it. Like I said, I need to just trash this computer.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent you a whole intro, LB. If
I
you didn't
know.
it.
and it
No,
was like
it's
we
really
wanted to
good, but
use
it's
it.
And it had it,
really good,
good.
guys.
Yeah.
We had an anniversary intro, but it
Glitches.
had glitches in it. Yeah.
and it was not something that I could figure out. It didn't make sense at all.
Man.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
It happens.
And I
You had a bad
feel
day.
bad because like I would like to send you things earlier, but the way that this process works, just for people, usually it's like Wednesday morning because that's an off day for me in terms of the writing, and I'm just like, fuck, I've got nothing. Maybe I'll just
Nope.
skip this week. I think to myself.
yeah. And then if you could skip it and you can tell me, then.
But I never. It's always like, and then I think of some dumb fucking thing,
But
and
it
bang, bang,
it
bang, and
works.
then I
it's
send it.
awesome, and
Yeah.
and it's sometimes those last minute things make it work the best. Like
well, it's always like I
I
started
don't
this.
think I spent more than 2 hours on the Crimson.
No, that's the key though, because I remember when I started doing this for the podcast, it was like you can't spend more than an hour on it. You can't.
Oh, I
spend,
do.
No.
I
You
can't-
have to do it fast. Like you can't
Yeah.
like it can't
You can't
be
give
like
me
a
that
fucking
rule.
Daily Show thing. It's the roughness of it is what makes it.
Yeah.
You know, it's what gives it its power. So
Exactly.
it's really great, and I just want to acknowledge publicly that it's just such a joy for me every week. I
Appreciate
can't
that.
even.
Yeah,
It really
and-
is like Christmas every week, Donnie.
and
It's
it
great.
is just kind of magical, honestly, because
It
yeah,
is.
you have this one thing, it switches over. Sometimes LB's part of it, and it's just a collaboration, and it's all, none of us are in the same state except for you two, maybe now.
Oh,
We're
I
in the
thought you
same
meant state of
state,
mind.
yeah.
I thought you meant
No,
state.
I did
We're in
too.
the
I had
same
to
state.
take a beat. Yeah,
Same
we're in
thing.
the same time zone. We're in the same state.
We're not in the same
Okay.
state. You're drinking water and Dr. Pepper, and I'm on like my third Manhattan. But go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'll get there eventually. But
How is it in your neck of the woods? Speaking of that, what do you think about how are your friends and neighbors and community members? Is anybody different than they were in the first term? Is everyone sort of, are you starting to feel like are folks checking out and they're sick of him? And maybe, is it exactly the same? What's happening there?
weird,
And-
because my industry, the office that I work at, I don't think any of them are of that persuasion or would have ever been. And then there's several offices in my company and in the surrounding region that I know for a fact a few of them are. I gotta think that, like, if they were in the Q world, I don't think they're there anymore.
Okay.
There's- they'd have to be too far gone for that to be reality for them now.
Hmm.
Like, how many boom weeks could you go through with absolutely no results, and then all of this Epstein stuff, and then nothing is coming out that they expected? All the people that were for him, thinking that he was going to provide all the Epstein files, are sorely disappointed. Like the Theo Vaughns, the Joe Rogans, the fuckers
Yeah.
that elected him.
Yeah.
But it's those kind of people that I know folks around here tend to listen to sometimes, but not, in my little bubble, neighborhood wise, no. There's nobody here that I could even point to that's like, there's like one person down the street that I know had a Trump sign in their yard for the election, but they took it down after the election, just like everybody else.
Yeah. I think the loss of support is real, and
I do too. I like my region isn't going to tell that story, but I think it is real.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of fracturing quite a bit.
I think he's jumped the shark for those folks too. These things they run their course,
Yeah.
Even with
But it just makes me want to slap him. Like, why didn't you see it?
Slap
I
him
know,
like
but
Stormy Daniels
So
slapped him
obvious.
during Shark Week when he jumped the shark. There's some joke there somewhere. I don't know. It's not
we had
materializing, but you know where
sharks.
I'm going.
We have Baby Shark. We had Trump and
Baby
Trump
Shark,
and
yeah.
Baby
Do,
Shark.
do, do, do.
Running
Yeah, I
from the
can
Baby
pull up.
Shark.
I don't know
Maybe
how
we
many
need to bring the
animals
sharks
have
back,
Baby
Donnie.
Shark.
Let's bring back the sharks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, they can go on the table.
Yeah.
Totally go on
Well,
the table.
listen, we love you so much. It's just,
We do.
Love you.
you
We do.
complete us.
Thanks, Jimmy.
That we have to replay that one. We haven't replayed that.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
That movie
Yeah, yeah.
trailer. We've got some
That's a
other
weird
stuff.
one.
That's
It's a weird
yeah.
one, yeah.
We
Yeah.
got some good ones that we can
Yeah.
replay.
Um,
But we just love you, hon.
and you are Nunzio Ciccarelli visually.
Yes.
I'm
Technically,
Nunzio
sure, but I
Ciccarelli
do.
audioly.
Yeah, we also
Yeah.
did an animated version of him that nobody's seen yet.
Oh, that's the one we did for. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Someone's
Maybe
birthday.
he does not look like me.
No,
That
not in the
animated,
animated.
but
No,
yes,
not
I am
in the animated.
Nunzio.
Not in the animated.
Visually, your audio.
Yeah.
And
I
who
would
is
never quite take over that one for you. That
Johnny,
you
who is-
have the character nailed. Sorry.
That's okay. In the intro that we didn't get to play because of the glitches, who was the hen? Was it the OMB?
Is that Carolyn Levitt or?
It's Carolyn Levitt.
Yeah. that's
Is
what I
it
thought.
Carolyn
It was
Levitt?
the turkey. It was the turkey that was in front of her in the picture, and it was her picture on the turkey. Just
Oh, okay, all right. We
don't
need
know.
that. There's some
I'm going to slow it down maybe next time.
some new things to add to the pool table, everybody. So we'll be
Totally.
looking
Yeah.
for those.
Things have been added. They've already been added. We just couldn't play it tonight because of Gremlins, which we'll blame on Russians,
Who are we
Chinese,
blaming them on?
Saudis.
How
Not the
about
Iranians. I think the Iranians are fine.
maybe
with
it's Jan Scavino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Scavino, the meme lord supreme.
Dan Scavino. I think you should use a 9-iron for this one, sir.
I'm qualified. Pick up your bags, Mr. President.
Oh my god! Why would you want to live that way? Oh my god!
I don't know. But listen, if we're
Disgusting.
going to have an after hours. we're
Yeah,
gonna
I know
have to
you're
wrap
falling
this up.
asleep. We're falling asleep.
I am
Donnie,
falling asleep.
Donnie, if you want to come to the after hours, come to the after hours. You want to
Come
come?
to the after hours. We're still up.
Okay. We're going to
right.
continue this on the after hours. And again, there's no show next week. But there is a show in the after hours. You have to be a member to look at the after hours. So please, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. We're going
Join and subscribe. Not blah, blah, blah. There's a join button. Hit join.
to,
And it's very low threshold. Go ahead and join our community. We'd love to have you. Subscribe
Press
if you
the
can't
like
get there. You
button.
haven't subscribed yet. The subscriptions help us. We want to keep going for another 4 years. Oh my
we
God.
do
Are we gonna do
4
it?
more years.
I guess
Like
so.
button.
I guess so. I think I'll have a little, maybe we'll go through a little bit of something because I can't even imagine what's going to happen with all of this in the next 4 years. But
You look
Some-
exactly the same, but whatever.
I don't
It's
think I
fine.
do.
You do.
Okay.
You do. It's fine.
Donnie, we love you. Everybody out there, I mean, we're hopeful that we're going to get through this.
Fuck yeah.